Hello, my name is Harry. Perhaps you have been watching my other videos here in the channel of the YouTube, and if you have done that, then you know what kind of videos I do usually make. So this time I'm going to tell you something different, completely different, and it's not so nice thing to do. First I must tell you that year before, last year, so I'm talking about 2021, the early days of December 2021, two of the conmen, two of the swindles appeared here on our front door, knocking on our door and trying to offering us a new electrical agreement, contract, whatever you call about it. They offering us a new electrical agreement which is containing about replacing electrical units, main control unit, main bearing unit, light switch, wiring, everything basically belonged to that contract, that deal. But however, this deal was very highly overpriced, very highly overpriced. So it was unreasonable sums of the money. I'm not going to tell you how much it cost because it's a little bit personal matter, but we're talking about huge sums of the money. It cost way too much than it should be cost. And well, also there were the matter of domestic harassment, because when they appeared on the first time on our doorstep, we told them, me and my parents, we told them that we don't want this kind of the agreement, that we're satisfied with this old electrical equipment. There's no trouble with them. They're working perfectly, functioning perfectly. There's no trouble, any kind of the trouble on the previous electrical system we used to have in this house. But they were consistently staying on the door, not leaving, even that we refused many times. We said no thank you many times. They hanging around about something like 15 minutes until they finally swinging themselves inside the house, not using by physical force. They didn't hit us, they didn't kick us, they didn't show up their knives or use any other physical violence, but they they just keep talking and pushing and keep talking and pushing. Well, you know that thing. Keep talking, pushing, keep talking, pushing until you get tired and you finally let them coming inside. And there were about an hour or little bit more, little bit less than an hour than they stayed here. And during this period they stayed here, they were talking a huge different kind of the matters, and at least half what they talking about were completely allied. They did over-exaggerate some things, and they using an excuses like I can't really tell all of that because I can't remember all of that. They were talking so much, so many minutes that they were talking, that I can't really remember everything. They completely lied for us. But at least there were 5 different matters where they giving us a false information, incorrect information, completely a lies. And finally, my parents, who were too tired, 2 old people living here on a borrowed time, and they didn't really have strength to resist them anymore. So finally they signed agreement. So we made an agreement, highly overpriced agreement of replacing electrical equipment in this house, and there were so many matters that did not been really what they promised for. And the point is that when the salesman, these aggressive door-to-door salesman or traveling salesman, whatever you're calling them, when they hanging around on your door and when they don't leave when you first say no thank you, then I consider it's the matter of domestic disturbing, domestic harassment, whatever you call about it, home ground harassment, home ground disturbing. They were just interfering in your house. They were pushing themselves inside, and they were. Well, I think that's a criminal offense. But however, that's what they were doing. So I'd like to warning about you when you face this kind of the door-to-door salesman, an aggressive door-to-door salesman. Stay alert, pay attention, stay alert, and if possible, don't open your door at all. If you see strange persons outside your door, keep the door locked and don't let them inside of your house. Because you never know what they do. They are all after your money, they are all after your property, they are all after using you as a financial benefit or whatever you call about it. They are after your money and they are after your property. So stay alert if you face something, if you see somebody who's coming onto your door and you don't know them and they are completely a strange persons, be alert, prepared for the worst, that you don't have to face the destination than we have. And one more thing I'm going to show you. This is the company written here on the marker pen. This is the company who was offering an electrical equipment. Take notice that this name is incomplete. It's not the full name, this is incomplete. I replaced the complete name for the incomplete because if I've been using a complete name, they might shoot me into the courtroom and they might, you know what happened in the courtroom, they might blaming me about damaging their reputation or something like that. So I left the last letter off. There's a question mark. If you look carefully, this is a question mark. And this is the name, this is the question mark. Last letter is missing, so this is not a complete name. So if anybody representing this company coming to your door, stay alert. Stay alert. And this might happen to you anywhere you live. And in Liverpool, in London, in Luton, whatever city or town you live, or whatever country, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Liberia, any country you live where is financial market economical system, where is this capitalism thing. Maybe not in communism because there's a different matter and different system, but this is anywhere where is capitalism, you might prepare that you might financially get ripped off. This is the company ripping off my parents' money. And then, one more thing. When they appeared our front door in December, early days in 2021, later on, a few months later, there were two swindles in the first time, but then a few months later, other of these swindles changed the label and he went into the other companies for working, and then he came back again to our house, this time offering by air condition machine, air condition equipment, which he offered us, and then he lied. Two things happened then. First, he did not inform us that he has changed the label, he has changed the working place, he's serving a new employer by now, and he was working for another company which offering air conditioning equipment. Another thing where he lied about this matter was that he said that this air conditioning equipment belong to the same price than this electrical equipment. That was a complete lie. This guy telling us a complete lie about this air conditioning equipment, and the price belongs to the same price with electrical equipment agreement. That was completely a lie. And the company who's offering these air conditioning company who's offering this air conditioning equipment to us was a company of this. Take notice, this is also name of the company and incomplete name. This is also incomplete name. There's a question mark. I left off the last letter for the reasons that I'm trying to avoiding to get sued through the courtroom. So this is incomplete name, this is a question mark, and the last letter is missing here. So this name is incomplete. So incomplete name, incomplete name, incomplete name. This is incomplete name. But also I'd like to reminding you that this thing might happen to you as well, wherever you live, no matter wherever, Newcastle, Norwich, Nottingham, or wherever country you live, Norway, Netherlands, Niger, whatever is the country you live, and this might happen to you as well in anywhere do you live. And basically, one more thing returning about the situation about, just give one more look. This is the company selling air conditioning equipment. And one more thing I was thinking about, let me tell you something about, when I was a little kid, I born in 1960s and I was a little kid in 1970s. We did have in then also door-to-door salesmen, traveling salesmen, whatever you call about it. But till then we had in this country a law that preventing a salesman to offering very high priced items. There was a limit. The limit was 500 marks. We used to have marks before we went into the euro currency. And 500 marks was approximately something about 100 euros. If anybody's offering you more expensive items than 500 marks, all you have to do is you call a police and made a report. And it was a simple thing. But since we're joining the European Union withdrawn all these rules, cancel all these rules, they taken away, they flush them away, they delete them. After we joining the European Union, this rule which was protecting private citizens for the aggressive door-to-door salesmen, they were taken away. They were deleted, they were withdrawn, they were cancelled. We didn't have it law anymore to protecting private citizens who live in their private homes, and everything is now open. If you had money, they can come off and they can rip you off. If you doesn't have money, they won't much care about it, but then they're going for somewhere else where they're looking for another payable customer. But however, these companies were the one who cheated us, me and my parents. They cheated us, so stay alert. If they appeared on your front door, pay attention, stay alert. And there's a lot more I could tell you, but since we got this camera, we only have a time for 15 minutes for recording, and that 15 minutes is almost gone by now, so I'm afraid I have to stop my monological speeches by now. But if you see one of these or any other door-to-door salesman, stay alert, pay attention, and prepare for the worst. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.